This is Donna, and I will officially call our Charter Club Committee meeting to order. I would like to begin with a roll call. As I call your name, if you would just respond. Anita? Anita? I think that was Anita. Judy?
Here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Karen? Thank you, Anita. Karen?
Here.
Thank you, Liane.
Here.
Thank you, Otto.
Here.
Thank you,
Here.
Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Here.
Thank you. We have everyone here, so we will have a quorum. Quorum is established. Before we start, I'd like to just remind everyone about your mic to please turn it on when you like to talk, identify yourself, and then turn your mic off when you are not talking.
That's what mine said too. And this is so dang loud, it hurts my ear on the phone.
Okay. First item on the agenda is the minutes from our January 12th meeting. Are there any amendments to those minutes?
Do we try it now?
Hearing none, we will accept them as posted. Next item on the agenda, I'd like to advise everyone that Claudia had to resign from the committee due to other commitments. And as a result, Liane has volunteered to be secretary for our committee. Thank you, Liane. Next item on the agenda will be updates from Riley regarding our RR&Ps, COVID, and IT. Riley, you are up.
Thank you, Donna. Good morning, everybody. Just going to start out with the COVID-19 update. The number of daily COVID-19 cases has begun to head in the right direction, finally. The COVID task force is reviewing these numbers on a daily basis. Hopefully, we'll continue to see a downward trend. Unfortunately, we are still seeing cases that are impacting the Sun City West community and our clubs as well. We've had quite a few cases in the last few weeks. And of course, updates and press releases can be found on the Sun City West website for your viewing and updates. Next, I'd like to talk about the RR&Ps. The revised RR&Ps have been uploaded to the Sun City West website, along with the new sample bylaws and the fillable CR forms. I'd like to thank Donna and all the committee members for the hard work that's gone into this to get this accomplished. It turned out quite well.
Had a lot of plans from them.
And lastly, the IT department has selected a vendor for the new club software program. It has begun to work with them on design and development, and the new software will be available to clubs in the future. That date is to be determined as they work through design. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Riley. Next item on the agenda is Carl, and hopefully every committee member has reviewed the video regarding the capital projects, and Carl is available to answer any questions from any of the committee members. I specifically had two questions. Carl, the first question was explaining what a slurry seal is. I didn't understand what that was. And the other item was to understand the enclosure requested for Beardsley lobby area. And so, Carl, if you'd like to start with answering those two questions for me, and then we can open it up to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Maloney, and good morning, committee. As you've had the opportunity to review the FY 21-22 capital budget review, this is the same presentation going to all committees and then forwarding on to the governing board. Donna, to begin answering your questions, a slurry seal is a form of work that is done to asphalt areas to enhance the life of the asphalt as opposed to just sealing the asphalt. Generally, our parking lots get sealed and then striped, but slurry seals have a higher component of sand and rock aggregate in the slurry, and it expands the life of that asphalt. The negative of that is that shortly after it's applied, it unravels and gets a lot of loose debris, sand and rocks, and that would not be good for our walking conditions in parking lots, but it's exceptional for the cart paths with the heavy vehicles. Secondly, to answer the question about the proposed line item for enclosing the Beardsley Aquatics lobby, this is an FR1 request by David Bennett, the facility manager, and David is asked to enclose the lobby similar to the lobby that we have at the R.H. Johnson Aquatic Center. R.H. Johnson years ago was an open air facility, as is Beardsley, where you could walk through the open arches and walk right to the pool. David is asking for the Beardsley lobby to be enclosed so that it is more useful to the members that use the aquatics building. It would be an air-conditioned space. It would repurpose that room for being able to have appointments and opportunities for the community to sit down with, whether it's staff, massage people, or other events that the leadership over at Beardsley has scheduled, and an opportunity for people to sit in a lobby that's conditioned, waiting for their vehicles, as opposed to the warm, open air environment that it is now.
It will now be placed into the conference.
And I'm open for any more questions if anybody has any.
Carl, this
I'd
is
like
Tom
to,
Jones.
thank you, Tom. Go ahead.
I'm confused about the pickleball expansion. Last month, Ken Holtz made a presentation and discussed the expansion at Palm Ridge, but on this video, it appeared that there was some additional pickleball and covered pickleball courts at Kuntz. Could you give me a background on that?
Absolutely. So I apologize for any confusion in the presentation slide. I was asked to introduce Kuntz as an option, and my current slide shows only the Kuntz location, but it is open for the options of Palm Ridge or Kuntz for pickleball expansion. So we gave this same presentation to properties the other day, and the properties committee made a recommendation that we simply had to update the CR13 to include both sites as a club member approved location, and that club is currently doing that. But both locations are being considered for the design element that's being placed into the budget. And just to clarify that if Palm Ridge was the final decision of the location, the fee associated with that for design and architectural and engineering is $165,000, and if it ends up being Kuntz, it's $113,000. It's just because each area requires its different scale of engineering and design. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Carl. And I did have the question of $165,000 versus $113,000, so that answered all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else, please? I'm going to call on each committee member just to verify that there are no questions. Anita, do you have any questions?
This is Anita. I do not have any questions at this time.
Thank you. Judy, any questions?
No questions.
Thank you. Karen, any questions?
No.
Thank you. And Lianne, any questions?
No questions. Well done.
Thank you. And Otto, any questions?
No questions.
All righty, I guess. Thank you, Otto.
No questions.
Thank you. All righty, Carl, I guess the committee has no further questions. We will,
Donna?
Yes,
Thank you for the time and opportunity to share this with the community today.
thank you. Great job. Next item on the agenda is update on committee goals. And again, I would like to reiterate what Riley said, the recommendations to the RR&Ps. Our goals are complete. We have taken care of virtual meetings, capital projects, and the financial responsibility, club memberships, and membership participation. All of those are complete on our goals. And again, the feedback from staff and the governing board has been very complimentary. Kudos to everyone. I would like to just thank every committee member for a job well done. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is liaison input. And what I would like to request here is any other items for discussion in our upcoming Charter Club committee meetings. I'd like to share that what has been brought to my attention, some items are groups within clubs, a multi-use room, club loans to clubs for capital projects, and craft clubs use for profit. I'd like to hear from committee members if they agree with these items for discussion or would like to add anything else. And I will go one by one. Anita, any other suggestions or input on these items?
I can't have anything at the moment.
Thank you. Judy?
I think those sound good. I'm really groups with clubs.
All righty. Thank you. And Karen? 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 I'll move on to Lianne.
No,
Any
nothing at this
comments?
time. Not at this
Okay.
time.
And Otto?
No. No questions.
Thank you. And Tom, any comments or questions?
Yeah. Groups within a club, is that like boomers or the outdoor group that has different, like four-wheelers and Jeep runs and things like that?
It's, for example, like boomers having other groups like Toppers Club, groups within clubs.
Okay, like the sportsman's club, they have different groups as well.
Right. However, they are mainly outside of facilities within Sun City West. So a lot of that, again, doesn't, for example, take the fitness club with swimmers. They have master swimmers. And that's a group within the swim club, or I can't remember the name of the club, but again, it is groups within clubs. And I was asked to bring that up for discussion with the committee. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Yes, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. All righty. Any other comments from the committee? We'll move on to 501
Donna?
committee comments. Yes,
Yeah.
and
This is Judy. I'm sorry. I just have a question. is an example of that like with the Boomers when they have line dancing within the Boomers Club?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All righty. Any other comments from the committee? All right, hearing none. Katie, do we have any comments from the audience?
No, we do not.
All righty then. Our next meeting, agenda number 6.01, is March 9th at 9 a.m. And again, that at this time will be virtual. If there is nothing else, I will adjourn the meeting. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Donna.